Hello, Facelandia. How you doing? I'll just wait a little moment and make sure we got sound and everything's all right technically. Hope you're doing fine. Everything looks all right. Excellent. Well, let's get started. Hello. Let's get a bit, actually, it's a bit on the low bit. Hello, Paula. Nice to see you. Just going to lower this a touch. There we go. There we go. There we are. There we go. I think that'll work. Yeah, that's much better. Okay, great. Super. So hello, everybody. Welcome to our day 16 of our Unleash the Dragon challenge. Today we're going to be doing Tiger. Let's start off. Let's do a little bit of the review some things like shaking and so on, and then we'll get into some boa and some tiger bows and talk a little bit more about tiger. So let's start off shaking with the foot. Shaking and rattling the bones in the foot. And up into the knee, in the shin bones and the knee. Just give it a nice little rattle and roll. And then getting the hip, so like you're stirring a pot with your shin bones. There you go. Leg out to the side. Loosen yourself up. Shake stuff loose, shake stuff out. Nice big roly-poly in the hip. Don't be afraid to lose your balance. And then other leg. Shaking the foot. There we go. And into the shin and the knee. Shake the leg out in front to the side of you, across your body. Woo-ha. Have fun with your balance. So if you lose your balance a little bit, try and regain it. That's great. And then if you lose it and you can't regain it, step off, come back on. Up into the hip. And then the chubby checker. Let's do the twist. Good, just relax, shake out the bones. Good. And then with the legs, bending one leg and then the other. Letting that ripple through your body, loosening you up, letting go of any stuck energy. There are different ways of doing this. You can focus on it like Python, and you can think in terms of the skeletal system, letting your bones jangle. You can think of this in terms of boa, the respiratory system, letting this movement move your breath. You can think of this in terms of tiger and the musculature, letting this just shake out tension in your muscles that's unnecessary. Any unnecessary tension. Good. And then both knees at the same time. So like you're buckling in the knees, both knees sort of give way, and you drop your weight. You let your weight drop so that you're landing your weight evenly on both feet with a slight little emphasis towards the heels. So just like dropping, letting your weight fall squarely onto your feet with a slight emphasis towards the back. And you know, it's not necessarily, it's a little bit like the melon. You just have a slight tuck under as you drop so that your weight lands fully on your feet, on your legs, instead of on your back. Okay? And so dropping, and let the wave generated from the drop travel through your body, and let it just loosen up any stuck spots. And now we'll add a little bit of a flick to the arms, and we'll do the flicking exercise. So downward, we make the wah sound. Wah, 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 wah. And forward. Pronate the hands, so turn the hands the other way. The ya sound. Ya, 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 ya. And upwards, the wah sound, supinating, palms up. Wah, 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 wah. And sideways, pronating, turn your arms over, and the ya sound. Ya, 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 ya. And let's do it again. Wah, 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 wah. Ya, 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 ya. Wah, 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 wah. And ya, 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 ya. Wah, 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 wah. And ya, 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 ya. Wah, 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 wah. And ya, 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 ya. And stand. Feel what your body feels like. Awake is a good sensation. And you should feel a little bit more alive, a little bit more alert, a little bit more open. So that's a great little Python-based exercise to do. And let's spiral with the arms. And good. And other direction. And other arm. So you're letting the movement of the arm and the body go together. You're letting your arm move your body. You're letting your body move your arm. Other direction. Good. And now both arms in opposite direction. And good. And reverse direction. Good. And stand, feel what your body feels like. And relax. I'm just going to check the camera, check the scroll here. Hello, Dorothy. Welcome from Ecuador. Hello, Joy. Nice to see you. Hello, Jenny. Excellent. Thanks so much, everybody, for being here. Lovely to have you. I hope you're all doing well. Okay. Oh, hello, Paula. Didn't see you there. Excellent. Okay, so let's do the basic breathing, and then we'll take that into a little bit of boa and then tiger. Okay. So again, refresher. You're bringing earth and water in through the feet. The energy rises up the midline of both legs, joins up with the pubic bone, then continues going up. So earth and water up. As that line goes up, you're bringing in fire and air in through the arms at the same time as the earth and water is coming in through the feet. And the lines from the arms meet up at the throat, meeting up with the lines from the legs, and then going straight up through the crown of the head into the sky. Hold the energy, purify it, energize it, let it come back down. Your body will automatically absorb some of the elements that you need more of, and then let the rest of it go back down into the earth. As we're doing that, you're breathing in lower back, middle back, upper back, lower torso, middle torso, upper torso, holding the breath, and then as you exhale, collapsing the chest, bending the knees, as above, so below, so you only contract as much as you can bend the knees. Head pointed up towards the sky until you can't anymore, and then head curls over. All right, did you get all that? The exam's at the end of the class. Make sure to take extensive notes. Okay, ready? And breathing in. Excellent. All right, and we'll do cleansing breath. So 7 forced short out breaths. Exhaling, feeling like you're exhaling as you go down the midline of your body. So you have like little imaginary blowholes, one up here at the crown of your head, the third eye, the throat, the heart, the belly button, the groin, and the tailbone. And drawing in the elements. And exhaling. Inhale. One more time. And standing, feel your body. Good. Excellent. All right, now let's do rejuvenation breath. So you're tapping with your fingertips. You're using the tips of your fingers like an ultrasound massage just to dislodge any stuck energy in and around your internal organs. Cup with the palms as you hold the breath. And then as you exhale, pour that energy out into the palm of your hands. All right, so should I do it 3? Yeah, let's do it 3/4. All right, and relax. Feel what you feel like. You take a kinesthetic snapshot. And breathing in, drawing in the elements. Hold the breath. your body feels like. Take that second kinesthetic snapshot. Your after picture. Wipe the sweat off of your brow. Good. You can get really intense with those basic breaths. I remember when I first started learning doing them with my teacher, by the time we'd finish the retention breath, he'd already be, sweating little beads of sweat. So you can vary that, you can intensify it as much as you want, but it's also really good to explore the spectrum. So for every time that you do it really intensely, take a couple of trials, a couple of turns, trying it relaxed, in a relaxed way. Okay, so let's do the prana shake. Take a moment, feel your spine, feel your body, your limbs, feel the elements, earth, air, water, fire. Touch base with each of the animals. Feel the subconscious, feel your boa, your python, your tiger. We'll start with those because we've done them up till now during this second phase. So just tune in to those animals and ask yourself, what do those animals need in terms of energy, in terms of sustenance and support? And we're going to draw those energies in. You don't even have to be very specific about it. If you just ask yourself the question from an authentic and sincere place, then you will draw the energy. You'll be doing something with certain nuances and subtleties that will bring in and support those animals. That will bring in the energy that you need to support those animals, those aspects of yourself. All right, so just tune in, feel your body, anything your tiger needs, anything your boa needs. What about your python? Touch base and start drawing the energy that those aspects of yourself need. Bring it in as you inhale, close the circuits, pack it into your body, into your spine, and then, like a good James Bond martini, shake it. And exhale. You have to make these exercises fun. So if you think of yourself like a James Bond martini, that's excellent. All right, so one more time, breathing in. And exhale. One more time. Standing. And again, feel what your body feels like. How does it feel compared to when you first started? Good. Okay, so let's take all of that openness and aeration and oxygenation into boa. So, take a moment, touch base with that meditative quiet void of boa. Touch base with your ability to feel in all directions through empathy. Like waves of empathy rippling out from your center in all directions, three-dimensional waves. And stop the world, bring it in. Exhale, let go. I'll do it from the side. And standing, feel yourself floating in amniotic fluid. And exhale and relax, release. And you come back to center, you come back to neutral. Good. And let's get into tiger. So our soft boa, and now the other end of the spectrum, the hard tiger. Feel the mantle of the musculature, feel your willpower, the power of your intention. And the bow. Triangles. Exhale. And standing. Good. And let's take a moment. Let's feel we'll do the melons a little bit at the lower end. So taking a moment, hand on your back, hand on your front, and breathing in, front and back, into the melon. And while you're doing this, feeling the melon spiraling. So it's rolling up the front and rolling down the back. Rolling up, rolling up on the front, rolling down on the back. So as you're inhaling and filling it up with breath, it's also spinning. So fill up and exhale. Keep the feeling of the melon spinning. And part of the feeling as you're inhaling, again, it's not like you've got a balloon and you're going to blow it so hard that you're going to make the balloon as big as you can or burst it. What you're doing is it's like you're playing with a teenage, or you're playing with weights almost in a way. You're giving enough pressure that the tissue can resist it. And if you kept doing that, then the body would grow more tissue in order to better be able to resist. So you're giving it just enough pressure that it can grow against without overwhelming it. So what you're doing is you're asking the body, hey, this is the amount of pressure I'd like you to be able to handle. Can you grow to meet that pressure? So it's that kind of quality of breathing. All right? So breathing in front and back while you're spinning the melon. Right now, when you exhale, let the melon get a bit smaller. Let it just contract with the exhale. I'm just like doing little shimmies. I'm just trying to relax the rest of my torso as I'm doing this. I think I was also a belly dancer in a previous lifetime. Breathing in deep. Good. Now we're going to do another little variation with the melon. It's a great exercise, and it really helps, especially with Tiger, it helps to keep a sense of being solid. It also, with Tiger, and in martial arts and dance and yoga and any movement art, the next exercise is really good for that sense of extending yourself out into space. So I'm wearing my logo here from dojo that I study at in Aikido, and in Aikido here at Santa Cruz of Aikido, they're always, one of the main comments is extend, keep extending out. And it's this sense of imagining yourself being in a cube, and you're sending energy to each surface plane of that cube. You keep reaching out. And this next exercise involving the melon is an important internal counterpoint to that sort of that external visualization. So very often what happens is that when people hear the cue, oh, reach forward with your hands. People reach forward and they throw themselves off their own center of balance. But what you're doing is that as much as you're reaching forward, you're also reaching back. You're also pressing into your back. You're also pressing down. You're also lifting up. You're also pressing side to side. And all of those pressures in each of their directions support and anchor and propel the forward direction you're going in. So it's a lot of work to sort of like focus externally in all those directions. An easier way of doing that is with the following practice with the melon. So this is what we're going to do. We're going to breathe in, and we're going to make the melon a bit larger as we inhale. And then as we exhale, we're not going to contract with the exhale. We're going to inhale and make the melon larger. And then as we exhale, we're going to keep the melon at its new size. So there's going to create a bit of a vacuum, but you're going to be feeling like that melon is pressing out in all directions as you exhale. And that's the internal sense of extension in all directions. So let's give it a shot. All right, and breathing in deep. Again, feeling the melon rolling. And now, you've made it, we've inhaled, and we let the melon expand. And as we exhale, we keep the melon at that new size. Then you inhale again, and maybe the melon expands a little bit, maybe it doesn't, but don't worry about that. Just inhale into it. And then as you exhale, keep that enlarged size and let the air out. And what it should feel like is as though you're pushing front and back, you're pushing side to side, you're letting the melon expand down while also pulling the anus up in a little bit. So it's kind of like, it's hard to describe, but it's kind of like a tent pull, except you're pulling the center of the tent up from the outside. And you're letting the rest of the tent drape down and expand. And so you're also pressing up a little bit. So the melon is expanding in all directions at once, and it gives you a sense of settling down low into your pelvis. Breathing in deep, a few more times. Keep the sense of spinning and exhale. One last time. Especially on the exhale, in order to keep the melon as large as it was, you really have to have that sense of bearing down, of pressing that whole melon a little bit down towards your tailbone. Okay, so that's a great way of touching base with the foundation, the base for Tiger. So let's do, let me see now. So we want to do that. And so let's do a couple of moves, and then we'll talk a little bit more about Tiger and the spirit and quality of the animal, of the archetype. So let's do some of the moves that we did yesterday. And we started off with the drop down. So this is where the melon, lovely visualization, like we had, we're going to uncouple the, I'm going to find that, there we are. We're going to uncouple, we're going to unhook our racing shoe off of our bike pedal, and it's going to relax our knees a little bit so that we can come off of the ground, and we're going to let the melon and the pelvis drop straight down to the ground as the hands come up towards the sky. Let's do it. And we'll add a few more moves. But let's do this 2-3 times. Ready? And you're standing, and you're touching base with the power of your body and with your heart. And bring your Tiger focus in, and Issa. Good. Come on up. Let's do that a couple more times. And again, the hands go straight up, and it's as if you're a mime and there's a wall, and you're clawing down the wall in front of you. So your fingernails have to stay in contact with the wall. So your hands don't come in, they go straight down. And feel the weight of your elbows pull you down, and try and relax your shoulders every chance you get. Keep connecting to your lats. All right, ready? And ferocious, like big ferocious tiger. Claws, like tiger claws. Okay, ready? And good. One more time. Put everything you got into it. You should feel the air be singed by the intensity of your focus. People walking into the room should be scared of you. Okay. All right, ready? And drop. All right, now let's do another move. Oh, I had this planned out. Right. So, exhaling. Let's do something fun for Tiger. So it comes down, and you're going to bring the hands in, and you're going to double punch out. So you're just going to send 2 fists out. And it's just a great exercise. It has that sense of Tiger power, and it's not too complicated. Doesn't involve complicated kicks or anything. And it's great to learn how to throw a punch. So the way that you throw a punch, first we make a fist. So curl your fingertips down to the base of your knuckles, of your fingers. Then roll them over, and then wrap the thumb so that the fold comes across the finger there. And voila, fist. This is how the Tiger makes a fist. There are variations, and where you place the thumb. Never put it here, because don't do that. So on the side maybe, and there are different levels or qualities of fists. So Tiger likes a nice solid fist. Python would like a relaxed fist, where it's sending its breath and its energy to the fist. Things like that. There are variations. But with Tiger, it's solid. Okay, and what you do when you're doing the punch is you get you make a straight line from your shoulder to your elbow to the space between the first and second knuckle. And you want the joint to make a flat line with the back of the hand. So you don't want to be angled, in any particular direction. You don't want to be, you want it to be as straight as you can make it, okay? And when you throw the punches, they come out and they're in front of the midline of your body. So basically it's creating a triangle with the base at your collarbones and the point of the triangle right where the two knuckles meet. So we're going to do that. We're going to claw down and then we'll bring it in and punch out at the heart level. All right. One more time with feeling. And this. Bring him in. Good. Bring him in. Good. All right. So we'll add a bit more. I didn't want to overwhelm with too much technical or form stuff, but I also wanted to give you some movement so you can get a feeling of the animal. So let's just do something really simple with tiger, which is block up. And the way that it works is boom, right? Bring it back in and punch. Let's do this one. Come straight up. So it's as if you're bringing your hand up the midline of your body and you're going to corkscrew the hand. So the palm stays in front of the midline of the body. And what happens is that there's a spiral in the shoulders so that the outside skin is facing away, and then so that the inside skin is then facing away. But the hand stays in front of the midline. Okay? So it's simple in terms of that straight line. And the elbow angle pretty much stays at 90 degrees, a little bit more open. So again, tiger, very simple. It's either a straight line or it's a 90-degree angle. Okay, so let's try it one more time. Yeah, let's try it. Ready? And bring it in, bring it in, and block up. And you're going to pull this one down as that one goes up. Let's try that a few times. Up, pull this one down, and as it pulls down, this one comes up. So you can think of a winch over here, and there's a rope that goes over the winch down to the other hand, and as one hand pulls down, the other one pulls up. And what's really interesting is that, you think this one of doing all the work, and that's the one that's, really fun and exciting, gets all the attention, but it's this one, the one that's coming down, that is actually doing the work. By dropping down, it helps to bring the other one up. So it's this quality in martial arts where you're letting the gravity and the earth do some of the work for you. Especially tiger. Tiger is aligned with the earth. So up. We'll do a few of these. And I'm going to pull down. And as I'm pulling down, that's pulling the rope on the winch, which brings up the other arm. And pulls down, and that brings up the other arm. And that pulls down, and it brings up the other arm. And that pulls down, and it brings up the other arm. Feel the melon. So the arms are connected to the winch of the melon at the bottom. So as the melon spins this way, it pulls on the elbow down, which raises the other one up. Boom. Boom. Right? And as you engage the melon to move the arms, you're automatically engaging all of this energy down here. And I'm exaggerating. I'm doing this like little weave. It's just to amplify or exaggerate that I'm getting my lower melon engaged. But you don't really need to bob and weave. In fact, what you want to do is continue to settle down in stable, ready heaviness, in ready, stable substance. Good. All right. Okay. So that should give you a sense of the tiger and its moves. Let's do all three together. So we'll drop, double punch, pull it back, and then block up, block up. Yeah, it's just a great way of giving a flavor of what tiger is like. Okay? All right. And feel your body. And drop. Bring it in. And double punch. And bring it in. And block up. And block up. Connect to the melon. That's it. And come back up. I feel so powerful. How about you? Yeah. So it gives a really nice sense of your body's abilities. All right. Ready? Okay. Yes, I am a goofball. I know it. Okay. Ready? And. Good. And bring it together. Good. So that gives you a sense of tiger. And let me just check the notes, see if there's any comments I should be aware of. There we are. Hello, Joy. Going down. Hello. Oh, tiger. More gifs of the tiger. More gifts. Thank you. Hello, Lindsay. And Maureen, hello. Nice to see you. Hello, Pamela. Lovely to see you. This one makes my dog crazy. Thank you. Best goofball. Thank you so much. That's good. So if your dog is going crazy, you're doing it right. Yeah. For me, my most poignant memory with doing tiger was it was back in '95. I'd moved away from Montreal where my family lived, and I'd gone to train with my teacher Constantine in Victoria, British Columbia. I had been 5-6 years away, and I came to see my grandparents. And you can imagine, two elderly people. My grandfather was in his 90s, my grandmother in her late 70s. Arabic speaking, French, Arabic, barely any English. And here was their eldest grandchild coming for a visit as an adult man, staying over for a little while. And they, what are you doing these days? And so in our little apartment living room, I pulled out the coffee table and I showed them tiger. And the look on their faces, and I'll never forget my grandfather saying, it felt like there was a real tiger in the room. So that's how you know it's working and it's worked and that you're doing it. Okay, so that's I'm remembering my grandparents now. Okay, all right. So that's a little bit on tiger, and we should show you a little bit. Let's do the bow, and then I should show a little bit more about the mudras, the eye position, and the tongue position for the animal, so that you can tune into them without having to sound like you're, breathing through a jet engine or something. So what we call the keys. So the mudras, the hand positions, tongue position, eye position, things that you can do to key the ignition on your tiger engine. So let's do that. All right. Okay, so let's do the bow. So here we go. Standing, feel all the energy you just generated. And focus. Bring your energy down into your belly. Feel like as you ground into the melon, as you ground into your own center, that you're automatically pressing and cutting through the space around you. And Do the bow, breathe in. And I forgot to mention, so we're working with the melon, and what we're going to do with the bow this time is keep the melon spinning, but as we exhale, raise the melon up. Okay, so you're going to breathe in, and then you fill up the melon down here, then as you exhale, and roll the melon up as you exhale. And as you roll it up, it is still spinning. So you still have this sense of lifting up in the front and pressing down at the back. And the reason for the pressing down in the back is because what you're doing is you're training yourself to engage all of the back stabilizing muscles, especially the large latissimus muscle that starts at the top of your armpits and then goes all the way down to your waist. Okay, so let's try it again. I knew I forgot something. All right, and so you fill up the melon at the bottom, and now roll the melon up as you exhale. And breathe in. One more time. And breathe into the triangle in your belly, into the melon. And exhale. Excellent. And standing, feel your body. Good. So the hand position for the tiger. So this is the single-handed mudra. There we go. So you bring your middle finger down to your lifeline on your hand, and kind of like Buddha, the Buddha finger position, you do that. And so you bring your thumb to your index finger, and the other fingers are at tiger's favorite 90-degree angle. So there you go. So that's the tiger single-handed mudra. And if you do meditations, you have in each hand, and you hold it while, you just like hold it while you're doing your meditation. We talked about boa. So the boa is thumb on the second joint of the index finger. Leopard is simple, thumb on the second joint of the ring finger, of the middle finger. Again, that parabolic dish. And we haven't done Python. Like Python, it's complicated. So this is how you do it. You bring your middle finger down to the mound of Venus. You let your thumb cross between the space, between the joint, what is that? Second joint and first joint of the middle finger. It's like you're playing the violin, and you just cross it and you stay there. And what you're going to do is you're going to touch the space between the first and the second joint of the ring finger. You're going to touch like that. And it's kind of like the bowl thing. And you bring your pinky underneath the ring finger, and you bring the index finger, again, between the space of the joint and the tip of the thumb. So you just bring it there, and voila, there's your mudra for the python. And you just hold it. And again, you're in meditation, and you just hold your hands down there. Yeah? And we'll do cobra some other time. We'll do panther tomorrow. Okay, so those are the mudras. The eye positions. So with boa, the eyes are gauzy and unfocused. With python, you're playing with your overt attention, like your central vision, as well as with your peripheral vision. So you're taking it all in, and you're not looking like you're looking. Tiger, you're looking right at them and a little bit into them. Not quite through them. There's something about cobra that's a bit more through, but tiger, it's like you pin people with the intensity of your gaze. Okay, and that's pretty much it. It's just straightforward. So there's that. The tongue. So with boa, the tongue is simply relaxed at the base of the mouth. Python, it's a little bit raised. The thing with Python, the way it doesn't really focus so much on the tongue. But when you're breathing with your mouth closed, the way that you breathe is as if your mouth were open. So you let your throat relax as if you were going to breathe in and out from your mouth, but your mouth is closed. And it just opens up all of the cavities a lot more. And it opens up it just helps. I find that it does something with my hearing. It makes me pay attention to what I'm listening a little bit better. And boa, the tongue is just relaxed, and really you're breathing through the skin with boa. So the tongue is not as important. With tiger, the tongue is up, touching just behind the two front teeth. And then cobra, it goes a little bit further back, and then leopard and panther do interesting things with their tongue. So you can, those are the keys. Those are ways you can key into the animals that way. So that's the mudra and the eye, the tongue. Right, okay. A little bit about the warriors for tiger. So tiger is about, it's the aspects of consciousness that represent the physical body, the emotions, the heart, and the analytical linear mind. I'm just going to come over here and just raise this a bit because I'm chatting. There we go. So you're focusing on cultivating those aspects of yourself. The linear analytical mind, the frontal lobes, your heart, and the power of the physical body. So, the big question about the challenge, the purpose of the challenge is, how to help people out during COVID, during shelter in place, and also as a way of prepping and getting more resilient for when we come out of sheltering in place and working together to create the new world that we are clearly going to be creating. And with tiger, there's a couple of ways. There are two important lessons with tiger. It is fantastic for external focus. It gets things done. No excuses, no regrets. It does its thing. It's also fantastic if you can take the power of tiger's focus and turn it inwards. Take that bright light and shine it in on oneself. And usually with tiger, what tiger is really excellent for is generating the courage to do the things that need doing out in the world, externally and internally, facing our own biases and prejudices and our own fears. And I wanted to leave you with that. And there's a lot more that can be said, but it really depends on what people are going through individually. Some of the ways that you can meditate and work with tiger. You can better understand tiger by understanding the parts of the brain that represent or that are associated with tiger. So tiger represents the frontal lobes. And what the frontal lobes are really good at, what their main job is putting things in sequential order. So that's putting words in a sentence in order. That's putting the memories of what you did yesterday in order, in time sequence, in temporal order. It's, if you have a whole bunch of cartoons, a whole bunch of panels from your Sunday comics, putting them in order so that you get the joke. The frontal lobes are really great at putting sequential order into things. They are really great at evaluating risk. So, and risk for others, risk for myself, risk for my group, risk for the other group. And we're coming into a period where we sort of need to reevaluate what we think of as risk. risk for ourselves, and risk for the greater good. And tiger's a really great animal to use when considering those things. So I wanted to highlight that. That's what the frontal lobes do. The kinds of meditations that are hallmark and central to tiger, and this, it's not complicated, are meditations involving compassion. So all of that can sound really complicated, but what it comes down to is compassion. That's the central axiom, that's the central axis for the tiger. So it's about the heart and the mind working together. It's like, it analyzes with its analytical mind, but then it brings all of its analysis to the heart. And the question is, how do you best take care of all of these different things, together? So meditations with tiger involve compassion for oneself, and compassion for one's family and community, compassion for people one dislikes, and compassion for all people. So those are the central meditative disciplines or practices for tiger. And it brings together the analysis of the frontal lobes, what's going on, who needs what are people trying to accomplish, what are the risks involved with that, what are the obstacles, and bringing that analysis to framing it within the context of compassion. What do they need? What's good for them? What's good for me? What's good for the planet? And so on. When you do those kinds of meditations, what you're doing is stimulating a central nerve, part of your parasympathetic system. It's called the vagal nerve. Perhaps some of you already heard about it. It's been getting a lot more attention in the last 10 years or so. And it's called vagal because it wanders. It goes from the top of the brain stem and travels through the body. And it plays a really big role in regulating regulating the body for producing the sensations that you experience when you're having an emotional response. So those visceral changes in your body, the butterflies in your stomach, that's from your vagal nerve. The warmth in your heart, when you see a puppy or a baby, that's the vagal nerve. The vagal nerve passes by the vocal cords, and so it changes the tension in the vocal cords, making your voice more tender when you're sad or more metallic when you're angry. And there's what we call vagal tone. So it's just like muscle tone. It's like just how healthy and efficient and how much potential does the nerve have for firing. And usually, if you look at little kids and you can measure vagal tone, the kids that have more vagal tone are stopping bullies during recess, that kind of thing. The stronger the vagal tone, the better access to compassion as a cognitive resource. So this is what tiger is about. And those are the kinds, so when you do meditations where you're visualizing, somebody that you like, let's say, and maybe you're imagining them having a hard time, or you're just visualizing them and you're wishing them well and wanting to help them out, just that visualization is going to activate the vagal nerve, and it will tone it. It will make it stronger and more resilient. And then when you go out into the world, you're a little bit more resilient. And you can increase the intensity of those meditations by visualizing people who are less connected to you. So, visualizing this with a stranger is more difficult than just visualizing it with somebody you know. Visualizing it with somebody you dislike is harder to do that than with somebody you do like, and so on. And these are regular practices, and this is part of the tradition in Qianlong. It has its roots in Taoist alchemy, and these compassion meditations are very much the main stable of work that Tibetan Buddhist monks do, and so on. So it's not from out of left field. It comes from a very well-established tradition. And if you come across variations on this, go for it. Like if you come across compassion meditations on the web, adopt it, and you'll be doing tiger. So I wanted to put that out there. There's a lot more that can be said, especially when it comes to the frontal lobes. It's a never-ending story. But the sequential ordering, evaluating risk, and focusing on compassion is the main gift that Tiger as a discipline has to offer. And so I hope that clarifies things for you. So you're not just scaring your dog, is basically what I'm saying. All right. Okay. Let's just see where we're at here. And no, hello, Joey. No, I didn't know you were born in the year of the metal tiger. That's great. Excellent. Okay. So we'll end there. Actually, let's do the boa bow one more time, and we'll end practice there. Just lower this one more time. Here we go. Good. Yeah. Relaxing, feeling your body. And exhale. Floating, letting your limbs float. Slowing down time. As you move through space, you feel like you're moving through all of space. Roll the melon up, and then roll the melon down as you exhale. One more time, roll the melon up as you inhale. Then roll the melon down as you exhale. And standing. And let go of the boa. Thank you again for being here. Same time, same channel tomorrow. Thank you very much. Bye, everybody.